Student, please take out your Merchant of Venice book. We are going to read Act 4, Scene 1 from page number 168 to 178. Page number 168. Duke says to Portia, now children, remember that Portia is disguised as a lawyer. That have you come from Bellario? Bellario has sent you. Then Portia says, yes, my lord, he has sent me. Then Duke says, you are welcome. You can take your seat. Are you aware of the nature of the dispute which is involved in the present case of the court, before the court? Then Portia says, I have full knowledge of it, I know about it. And then she asks that who is the merchant and who is the Jew. Then Duke points that he is a Shylock and that is Antonio. And then he orders them to step forward. Portia says, then asks Shylock, that is your name Shylock? Shylock says, yes, my name is Shylock. Then Portia says, the case which you have brought here is strange. The case which you have brought here, which you have brought in front of the court is very strange in matter. Page number 170. Portia says that the law of Venice cannot find any fault in your case. Your case is very sound legally. Then she turns toward Antonio and says that you know that you are in danger from him. Antonio says that yes, he knows that. And then Portia says, do you confess that you have made this agreement, you have signed this bond? Antonio says that yes, he agrees that. Then Portia says to the Jew, then Jew, Shylock, you have to be merciful upon him. Then Shylock says that on what is the reason, on what ground, what reasons are there that I should be merciful to him? Just tell me that. Then Portia says, the quality of mercy cannot be forced. It cannot be forced. It comes by itself. It is deep rooted in the heart of the people. The mercy is a quality which drops freely as the rain, as a gentle rain. It falls itself from the sky to the ground below. In the same way, mercy cannot be forced, and the mercy is twice blessed. How it is twice blessed? It blesses the person who shows the mercy and even blesses the person who receives it. It is the greatest quality in the most powerful man. It is a nobler quality in a royal king than the crown which he wears. His spectre symbolizes the earthly power, which is the main characteristic of the king who commands power and grandeur. But mercy is much above such a worldly power. But the mercy is much above this worldly show of power. Spectre, the crown, it symbolizes the earthly power of the king. But mercy is a noble quality in the heart of a king. It is a quality, mercy is a quality which is the main characteristic of Almighty God, of the God. The power of kings become most divine in its working when justice is tempered with mercy. When the king shows mercy, when the justice is given by the king with being merciful, then it becomes a divine quality. Then the king becomes divine itself. So, Jew, although you demand what is due to in name of justice, although you have come demanding justice over here, remember that if according to the strict justice of God, if God started imparting justice, then no one of us will be saved. So we all pray to God to be merciful. And the same prayer which we ask for mercy from God, we ask mercy from God, it also teaches us that we should show mercy to our fellow beings. I've said this often, I have said this thing so that your plea, the harsh judgment which you are claiming with, should be little softened. Page number 172. Portia says that if Shylock continues to demand it, then the court of Venice has to give him the justice, will have to pass the sentence against the merchant, against Antonio. Then Shylock says, let me bear the consequences of my deed. Let me bear the consequences of my deed. I just crave, I just seek for the justice. I just seek for the penalty and the forfeit of my bond. Then Portia says, is Antonio not able to pay you the money? Then Bassanio says that yes, here I am giving for him twice the amount of the original sum. If it is not enough, I will pay, I am bound, I will be obliged to pay 10 times more. And even I am ready to give my hands, head, and heart as a penalty. If that is not enough, then it appears that malice bears down the truth. That is, malice is destroying the truth. And I beseech you, then he says to Portia that he requests her, rest upon the law to your authority. That the authority which you have over the law, please use it to do something right, do little wrong, to achieve something, a greater justice. You have, even if you have to do something wrong, a little wrong, please do it and just deprive this devil that he is not able to claim his will. His wish is not fulfilled. Then Portia says to Bassanio that no, it cannot be done. There is no power in Venice that can change the established law because it will be recorded as a precedent. Precedent means as an example for the coming cases, and then what will happen? Lot of error will creep into the governing of the state. So it cannot be done. Then Shylock just praises Portia, says that you are really a Daniel who has come to give a judgment. I respect you. Portia says that I just request you, kindly just show me the pawn. Then Shylock gives the bond to her and says that it is this reverend doctor. Here it is, reverend means respected. Then Portia says that you have been offered thrice the amount of money to you, that you have been offered three times more the original sum. Page number 174, Shylock says to Portia that he has taken an oath before God and he will not commit a sin by breaking his oath, and not even for Venice. Then Portia says that this bond has really been forfeit. The due date has not been kept, and lawfully the Jew can take a pound of flesh, which is a penalty, and he can cut it from the closest to merchant's heart. Then she says to Shylock that please be merciful and take thrice the amount, the original amount which he has lent to Antonio, and let her tear the bond. Then Shylock says that you can tear the bond, but only after I get paid according to the terms mentioned in the bond. It seems like that you are very honest judge, impartial judge, and you know the law, you have a good knowledge of law. And by that law, I request you that you proceed to give the judgment. And by my soul, I swear that no one can say anything which will make me change my mind. I will take my bond. Antonio then says that most heartily, wholeheartedly, he requests the court to give the judgment, proceed with the judgment. Then Portia says, okay, then you be ready to give a pound of flesh from nearest to the heart. Be ready for the knife. Then Shylock again praises Portia that you are very noble judge, you are very honest judge, you are excellent young man. Then Portia says that is the purpose of law, to make the people get the penalty if the give the penalty, and which is written in this bond, and which it appears in this bond that the due date has not been kept. Then Shylock says it is very true, what you are saying is true, you are very wise and honest judge, and look how mature you are very young but you are very wise. Page 176. Then Portia says that uncover your bosom, Antonio. Then Shylock says, yes, his chest. That is what has been written in the bond. Nearest his heart are the exact words which are written in the bond. Portia says, it is so, that it is really so. Is the weighing machine is ready to weigh the flesh? Then Shylock says, yes, it is ready. Then you must arrange for a doctor. Then have you arranged for the doctor on your own expense? You have to incur the cost of the doctor to stop the wound, because when he will cut the flesh, it will bleed. So lest he can bleed to death, he might die from bleeding. Then Shylock says, is it written in the bond that I have to arrange for the doctor? Portia says, no, it is not written in the bond. But what about that? But then why does it matter when it is not written? It is that good that you do it out of kindness. Then Shylock says that no, I cannot find such a condition written in the bond. Then Portia says, have you anything to say, Antonio? Is there anything you want to say? Then Antonio says that no, I do not have to say anything. I am ready and well prepared. Then he says to Bassanio that please give me your hand and farewell, and do not grieve that I am dying because of you. For this instance, fortune is being very kind on me, then then is a custom of fortune. It is a custom of fortune to let the poor man live after, even when his wealth is lost, when he has lost everything, then also the person goes on living. And so with hollow eyes, and till he grows old, he has to live in the state of poverty. He has to be witness of the his poor conditions of living in poverty, and he has been spared by fortune from this condition so that his suffering is not prolonged. Page number 178. Antonio says to Bassanio that please convey my regards to your honorable wife and tell her that how I have died. And after telling her, just ask her to be the judge whether Bassanio had a good friend or not. And do not regret that you have lost a friend, because I do not regret that I'm dying, because I'm paying your debts. If the Jew curse enough, instantly I will be paying off my debts. Then Bassanio says that I am married to a wife which is very dear to me, more than my life itself. But the life itself, my wife, and even all the things of this world are not above your life, Antonio. I would lose everything. I will sacrifice them. I'm ready to give all of them to this devil here so that you are saved. Then Portia says that your wife will not be thankful if she has heard what you have made an offer, what offer you have made just now. Then Grisanio says that I also have a wife, and I swear that I love her. But I wish now that she was dead and she was in heaven, and she would have some heavenly power that can change the mind of this cruel Jew. Narissa then says that it is good that your wife is not here. If she hears it what you are saying, then it will create a fight in the household that disrupt the peace of the household. Then Shylock says aside that just see these Christian husbands. I have a daughter who has also married to one of the family of barbers and not her as criminal rather than to a Christian. I just wish that she has married to someone, some criminal, rather than to a Christian. And aloud he says that we are just wasting time. I request you to pronounce the sentence, to pass the judgment. Then Portia says, a pound of this merchant's flesh is yours. The court awards it to you, and law sanctions it, that the court gives you the right to take the penalty.